Hello everyone, this is Pizza back with a new tutorial with PML, and today we're going to take a look at Calvin Harris's track called How Deep Is Your Love. And let me play you the fragment that we're going to be remaking. So we're going to make this part of the track, but mostly we're going to focus on the bass on the Serum synth, which is the main element, of course. So if you want to grab the presets, go ahead and look at the description of this video. The presets should be linked in there. But anyways, if you after watching this tutorial, you should be able to make this sound. So let's go quickly through the drums first. So we've got a basic kick. It's from a sample pack called D Premium Volume 1. You can get it from the description as well. And it's got only a high-pass filter here, cutting off some of the very low end, and a high shelf as well. And that would be all. For the kick, nothing fancy. We've also got some hi-hats here, so we've got such a drum loop, and we've got some erosion chorus on it, and some EQ, some saturation to warm up some highs, some delay and compression. It just adds some swing to the sound, and then we've got an open hat sound. And that is just a basic sample, also from our sample pack. And it doesn't have any EQing, no effects in there. Oh, and the MIDI file looks like this. So this note is repeated. And then we've got another MIDI track, which is this hi-hat. Just adds some more feeling to the sound. Let me play all the hi-hats together. Yeah, I think it's a cool loop, and then we've got some claps here. First layer, also from our sample pack, and another sample from our sample pack. And these two sounds are layered together. So we've got this drum loop. Okay. Now that we've got this drum loop, let's look at the piano that I have here. So I've got these three chords. You can input them into your DAW if you want. So these are the exact notes. And this is also this is our rack, which should be linked in the description. This is a piano instrument, and we've adjusted some settings here. We've got some filtering on it, and we've got some compression utilities and stuff, and we've got just cutting off some of the lows and highs to lift only the mids, and we've got some reverb on top of that. And next we've got another piano, which is very similar. It's playing chords with the bass. It's the same chords essentially. So these are the notes. Okay, let's now look at the bass, which is the most exciting thing. Okay, so it's made all in Serum, so we won't need anything else. Let's quickly create a new MIDI track, and I'll drag this file, this MIDI clip, which by the way plays E2, C2, A1 and A1. I will copy it onto a new MIDI track, and I will drag Serum here, and we'll start adjusting our synth. So this is the initial preset. Now let's choose the wavetables here. So the first one, let's set it to anti-stasis, I think that's what it's called. And the second one, let's turn it on, and let's select analog sine wave. Alright, let's now go through the settings here on these wavetables. So let's set this antistasis wavetable to 6 voices and detune it like this, and let's bring down the blend a little bit. Okay, let's bring up the wavetable position. If you click here, then you can see the exact position in 3D. Let's bring down the level also. And now let's bring the unison of the sine wave to 3 voices. And let's bring down the detune, and let's bring the wavetable modulation all the way up, so we've got some harmonics here. Okay, and now let's choose. Let's hear what it sounds like by now. It's a pretty basic synth sound by now, but what we can do now is we can turn on a filter, which will turn a synth sound into a plug. So let's quickly, on the first envelope, let's bring up the release to around 380 milliseconds, just to give it some more tail, so that we can work with the filter. Okay, now we can add some more envelopes to the filter. Okay, now let's quickly change the filter to low pass 6, so that we have some of the higher frequencies too. We're not cutting off everything. So for example, if we choose 24th, then we would cut off a lot of the high end. So let's choose MG low 6, and let's look at the second envelope, which will soon map to the cutoff of the filter. You can set it like this visually, so around 1 second here, and yeah, so sustain around 50% and release around, I don't know, 550. Okay, should sound alright. If you now put it on the cutoff, turn it down, and if we adjust the amount of this envelope, so let's give it a listen now. I didn't pass all of these oscillators through the filter, so now I'll turn on B, and now we should have a plug sound. Okay, it's more of a plug sound, but I think it needs some more low end, so let's turn this wavetable 1 octave down, so that we should have a more bassy sound. You hear it's an octave, so this oscillator is playing at 0 octave, and this oscillator is detuned 1 octave down. Anyways, a cool thing we can do now is we can turn on ring modulation here from oscillator A, so that this oscillator is modulating this oscillator. And now we can turn it up like this, and let's hear the difference. Let's do a cool thing here. We can turn on another envelope, and let's bring the sustain down, and let's bring the decay to 170 seconds, and let's map it to the ring modulation knob, so that it adjusts the ring modulation amount in real time. Okay, so also we can map it to the level to give the plug some more dynamics. And also we can turn on the sub oscillator to give some more bassy punch to it. And let's bring it 1 octave down, and we can also map the third envelope to the level here, so we will get a really cool bassy sound. Let's give it a listen. I like this sound by now, but what we can do now is we can add some effects to spice up the sound. So let's turn on distortion, and let's set it to tube as it is now, and let's set the filter to posts and the filter position like this around. So even around this position. Okay, let's now turn up the drive just a tiny bit here and bring down the mix. So without distortion, with distortion. Maybe even a little bit more mix. We're just adding a little bit of harmonics to the sound, nothing crazy. And let's turn on the compressor. And what we can do now is we can turn up the threshold here, so that the volume of the plug is more stable. We can also turn up the gain here, so that it's louder. Okay. And the cool thing we'll do now is reverb, which will add some more spaciousness to the sound, so bring down the size and decay. You already hear this without reverb, with reverb. Okay, and now let's turn on the Nicky and set the frequency like this and turn up the gain, Q down, and let's set it like this. So we're adding more higher frequencies to the sound. And I'll throw another EQ on this track because I really like this EQ from Ableton. So I will set a low pass filter here, high shelf like this. Should sound more or less like what we are aiming at. Yeah, it's pretty similar. So we've got also another track here that we want to make. So let's actually make another Serum track. Right click, insert MIDI track, and I will copy this MIDI file here. The purpose of adding this whole Serum device is to add some more upper harmonics to the sound. We could technically achieve that with more distortion on the first instance of Serum, but I personally like to do it this way. You can do it any way you want. So dragging Serum as always, and let's now focus on the second instance of Serum we've got here, around this frequency, and I will set this oscillator. We will also use two oscillators. The first one, let's set it to PWM MG oscillator, and let's the second oscillator, let's set it also as a analog sine wave. Let's now adjust these settings as always. So 8 voices here, and bringing down the detune. Actually, I can play you what I'm adjusting in real time. So we're detuning it slightly less. Okay, and so that there's less difference between the separate voices. And we can turn down blend, so that some of the voices are quieter. And then we can switch the wavetable position to around this position. So we will change the position of the wavetable, and that will be all here. And we can turn on 5 voices here. Let's quickly turn on off this oscillator so that we can hear what we are adjusting here. So 5 voices here. Detuning it like this, and blend, leaving it as it is. And we can choose FM synthesis here from oscillator A. And let's turn it on. And let's bring up the gain here and this gain all the way down, so that we're only adjusting this sine wave with this oscillator without hearing this oscillator. Let's hear what it should sound like without any filtering or envelopes. A pretty creepy sound, but we'll fix it in a minute. So let's turn off the filter here. Let's turn up the resonance. Drive a little bit up. Okay, so we can turn down the cutoff for now, and let's quickly give the first envelope a little bit more release. So for example, 1 second and 13 milliseconds. It will sound like this by now. It's got a long tail, but we'll cut it in a minute. So let's look at the second envelope and let's map it to the cutoff of the filter. And let's quickly adjust it like this. You can copy the exact settings of the knobs that I have here, or you can adjust it visually. Let's turn on the B oscillator so that it goes through the filter. That's very important. Let's set the amount of this envelope like this. And that's all for the filter. What I missed here was the octave of this oscillator. So this is very important. This will turn our kind of creepy sound to more of a bassy sound. So let's turn it 1 octave down and see the difference. Hear the difference. We can't hear the difference because the FM knob is turned down. So if we turn it up now, it's more of a bassy, low sound. That will be all for this section of the synth. And let's now focus on the effects here. And we can throw an EQ first. And let's set it as a high-pass filter around this frequency. And then let's add a distortion effect here. Let's bring it down after the EQ. And let's set it to soft clip. No filtering here this time. Around this drive amount. And let's hear the difference. Let's add another effect here. We can add a reverb, a very subtle reverb. So let's also add it after the distortion. Yeah, let's not change any of the settings. Let's hear what this device sounds like. And let's now hear both of these devices that we've created. I will group it, hold Shift, select both of these tracks, click Command G, and now we've grouped all of these devices together. So let's solo these two tracks. I like the sound. Let's look at what we wanted to achieve first. So I think it's very similar. Let's now play all of the elements together with our newly created bass. I think it's a very good result. So thank you for watching this tutorial. Make sure to check out the presets from the description. And it was K-Pizza bringing you a tutorial on Calvin Harris's track called How Deep Is Your Love? See you in the next tutorial. See ya!